Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this game between Navi and Team Empire for the Kiev Major. We're casting this game because this is a game that's happening right now, and I have no way to access the replays, at least not that I know of. You guys can help me out here, but if I go into watch, right, I go into tournaments and there's the Kiev Major, I click view, I just get this empty fucking screen. I mean, I can put spider block on, but that really doesn't help me at all. So, and I don't know where the replays are here. I have no fucking idea. Don't worry, it's not this button. This button just takes you somewhere else entirely. So, yeah. Good job, Dota. Never mind that, we're just gonna go ahead and cast this game. For once, as an exception, I have brought us a co-caster. It's not gonna be just me today. It's also going to be Nikita, who is gonna be quietly sitting on my lap, not really contributing all that much. Unless, Nikita, you have some comments about the starter and Ogre Magi picks. She doesn't. Alright. Bans, we've got the Magnus and the Lashruck, as well as the Meepo and the Lone Druid. A bit odd. Definitely odd. Seeing Lone Druid banned is standard, right? Nothing crazy there. But the rest of them, Magnus, very powerful hero. Definitely a respect ban to some extent. Right, I don't think you would see Magnus banned out first against, you know, a team that isn't known for using Magnus a lot. So Navi probably has some expertise there. Same for Lashruck, same for Meepo. Seems like all of these are just respect bans, right? Lashruck, I guess, is somebody that has been seeing a decent amount of play. Definitely a scary hero. People have really started to rediscover him, which is kind of cool to see, right? Everybody thought the hero isn't any good, and then all of a sudden, well, turns out he can actually do a lot of damage. He's kind of slow at what he does, but if you can set him up, he's quite scary. So yeah. Gonna be the Lifestealer coming out from Navi. A hero that has a lot of potential to snowball, a hero that is very powerful with a Slaughter, because, you know, you've got the Slaughter jumping in, you know, you stun people, just Lifestealer pops out, lots of AoE damage right then and there, and then you amplify damage somebody, Lifestealer starts eating them. Should basically be an instant kill on somebody, and then you take the fight from there. So, that's really, really powerful. Centaur Warrunner coming out. It's an interesting choice. Interesting choice to see the Centaur here. So, Centaur is a hero that is incredibly powerful, just in general. Right? He has been very popular recently. He fights well early. He fights well in the mid game. He lanes decently. And he has a very powerful ultimate. And that's honestly kind of all you need for a hero to be very good. Right? Centaur's ultimate is actually just godlike, though. Like, that ability is just insane. One of the best in the game for sure. So, Centaur, a hero that has been a little bit meta-defining, just like the Lone Druid has, although we don't see the Lone Druid as often, since he barely ever makes it past the banning stage. But a Centaur Warrunner is an interesting choice here, I think, because that hero relies a lot on being tanky, right? A Centaur, if he doesn't manage to survive for a long time, doesn't really contribute a lot to a fight. Both Slaughter and Lifestealer are very good at cutting through that. They can kill a Centaur Warrunner pretty effectively, more so than really anybody else. Maybe a Timbersaw is also on that level, but that's where it ends. So, interesting choice, but I think it's fine just because Centaur is so powerful. It's just a matter of, is Centaur good? Yes. Is Centaur still good even if they have heroes that deal well with him? Yes. Alright, let's go ahead and get Centaur. It's that straightforward. Dazzle gonna be banned out here. Dazzle just a hero that's a little bit scary if you're trying to play a Lifestealer, since he really does buy a lot of time. And that's something Lifestealer doesn't like at all. Right, Lifestealer is very burst heavy. He picks a target and then that target is supposed to die within the next 5 seconds. Dazzle makes that difficult. So if you can't actually pull off that kill in 5 seconds, Lifestealer often doesn't have a follow-up. Often doesn't have a play left to actually finish off that kill. And so seeing the Dazzle banned out does certainly make sense. Although it would actually be a powerful hero for Navi as well. Right? Like, you already have a lot of physical damage, a lot of minus armor. Why not slap a Dazzle in there as well? Right? Kind of would make sense, but then again, he's a little bit defensive, and currently their lineup is very aggressive. Batrider gonna be banned out here. An aggressive hero makes sense, right? Also a carrier for the Lifestealer. That's always something you need. Lifestealer is powerful on its own, although his real potential only comes out once you actually have the vehicle for the guy. Sniper banned. I love Sniper. I think Sniper is amazing. Like, I don't know what anybody... Like, I don't care what anybody else says. I thought Sniper was amazing when they first introduced 7.0. I thought his talents are incredible. And I stand by that. I still think his talents are incredible. And it's mostly because of Shrapnel. Right? Like, that's what makes the hero so good. Shrapnel, Shrapnel, Shrapnel. That ability is insane in every possible regard. Except for cooldown. But once you get to level 25, that's not really that much of an issue anymore. Right, 7 shrapnel charges for days. Last ban coming out here. Bans are always incredibly hard to predict. It's always a matter of, well, what does Team Empire want to do here? Right, what's their strategy? What heroes do they have in mind? Where do they want to take it? A popular hero that's still in the pool is, of course, the Ember Spirit. Although he's been falling off a little bit, and against Slaughter and Lifestealer, I don't expect to see him. Actually, never mind. Never mind. Sorry. I mean, Navi would be picking him, right? And that actually makes a lot more sense. Although, I still think that Ember Spirit is probably a little bit unlikely, because Team Empire does also have Centaur, Warrunner, and Ogre Magi. So, Tinker gonna be the one taken out of the pool. A very strong mid hero still in the pool is, of course, the Invoker. So, there's definitely a very real possibility of seeing that hero, as well as the Juggernaut. I actually would like to see the Juggernaut from Team Empire. Juggernaut does well against Lifestealer. He does decently well against Slaughter. Right? Lifestealer tries to jump a Juggernaut, he gets Omni-Slashed instead, which is kind of a problem. So yeah, it's kind of a hero we always need to keep in mind, especially since he's played in the mid now. Although the problem with Juggernaut, of course, Juggernaut is not a hero you're gonna send mid against anybody you can find. Juggernaut is a very specific kind of mid hero, right? You only want to send him into the mid against a certain kind of enemy. Can I also just quickly point out that I love Biver's... Is that how you say that? Biver? This guy, Biver, the yellow player on Navi's team. I love his picture. It's Engineer from Heroes of New Earth. A really cool hero, actually. Quite interesting. Keeper of the Light coming out from Navi, a Kotl of the Light. A hero that is very popular these days. Works well against Centaur Warrunner. You know, Centaur casts his ultimate, wants to run in. And at that stage, Kotl just mana leaks whoever he doesn't want running around. And then they won't be running around. So that works really well. Also, a hero that can farm up a lot. Even though he's often played in a position 4 or even position 5, it's not unusual to see an Aghanim's by 20 minutes on a Kotl. So that's something that's valuable, you know, a support that can actually get a lot of money. He brings in a lot of map control once he actually has the Aghanim, so a lot of pushing power. All around, a very powerful hero that can do a lot of damage. Winter Wyvern coming out here. I really need to stop playing with the little... Oh god, did I drop it? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm playing with these little things again. I'm the worst. I really need to stop with that. Alright, Winter Wyvern coming out from Team Empire. A dragon that we haven't seen in a while. Cool choice here though. Of course, Slaughter Lifestealer, purely physical damage. Kotl currently their only source of magic. The blast is incredibly unreliable though, so... probably not that much magic damage coming out, right? Like, reliably speaking, the most magic damage you're currently going to take in a fight is just the infest burst damage, which can be significant, but oh, there we go with the Ember Spirit. So Ember Spirit gonna be more magic, of course. Winter Wyvern has the E, what is it even called? The Cold Embrace. Yeah, we haven't seen Winter Wyvern in competitive in quite a while, but the Cold Embrace, you put that on whoever's getting jumped by the Lifestealer and Slaughter. They are fine. There's literally nothing that can hurt them. So that's pretty solid, right? That's really nice if you can get that response off. Ember Spirit coming out from Navi as their mid Alchemist and response from Team Empire. Very interesting choice. Very, very interesting. So Alchemist, a hero that I personally find quite powerful, although situationally so. This game, I am a bit doubtful if he'll be able to perform well. He's gonna get jumped by the Slaughter Lifestealer very easily. It's just going to die, not much he can do. Mid lane is very iffy if he can actually beat the Ember Spirit. He has no way to break Flame Guard. None at all.
10 seconds to go.
Of course, Ember Spirit has to deal with the Acid Spray. But, you know, it's kind of a toss-up, right? Both players have to deal with the same kind of shit. Juggernaut gonna be banned out from Navi. So it could, of course, also be a safe lane alchemist. That's another thing we need to keep in mind here, right? That's definitely a possibility. Safe lane alchemist, then they go for another mid, which I personally think I would prefer. I don't really like seeing the alchemist mid this game. Gotta admit, not a big fan of that. Sand King gonna be banned out from the Dire. Team Empire thinks that Na'Vi is looking at another support, and I think that's fairly obvious, right? They need somebody that can actually go in and get some easy stunts. Eventual Spirit would still be in the pool. Earthshaker, a hero we haven't seen too much of. Earth Spirit, a hero we have seen plenty of, would actually be quite powerful here too, I think. Team Empire now looking at either a mid or a safe lane. We don't know exactly what it's going to be. I'm hoping it's a mid, personally. Invoker is still in. Right, Invoker is powerful against Ember Spirit. It's going to be the Ursa, which still doesn't tell us if it's mid or off lane. I like seeing him mid. I think he beats Ember Spirit mid incredibly badly. Like, it's not even close. Ursa just runs over an Ember Spirit. Darkseer coming out from Na'Vi. So it's actually going to be a support Slaughter. And then, you know, Coddle of the Light, of course. Ember Spirit mid. Lifestealer safe lane. Darkseer in the off lane. Makes perfect sense because you're going up against either an Alchemist or an Ursa. In both cases, Darkseer is going to do fine. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the game. A pretty long drafting stage here, but I couldn't speed it up. I usually have it sped up a little bit, but this is live, so makes it a bit tricky. Both teams are fully using the time they have here, making sure they don't pick anything too early. They don't want to give any additional information away. You know, sometimes knowing who is playing what hero can really make a big difference. So yeah, 10 seconds to go, and I expect both teams to pick at the very last second. 5 seconds, 2, 1. Or maybe it doesn't show. I guess it doesn't show if you're live. Also 18,000 spectators, let's go! None of them are listening to me, of course. Oh, man. Yeah, I guess it doesn't show. Didn't know that. It does show in replays. So, alright. Game was paused. Dandy on the Ember Spirit, so that's telling us it's a mid. I think it's more interesting to see the other side. I gotta admit, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not super familiar with these players. So, Smoke, Ursa picking up a bunch of regeneration. That tells me he's going into the safe lane. You know, he needs a lot of regen to deal with the Darkseer Chappie. On the Alchemist going into the mid. We've got Ghost Stick on the Centaur Warrunner. Offlaning as you would expect. Nothing surprising there. Miposhka on the Ogre Magi already going mid to throw down a quick little ward there. Making sure they have vision in the mid lane. King R on the Winter Wyvern. Engaging with Slaughter. You know, just a little back and forth. Nothing too crazy. Na'Vi checking for Roshan. I love this. This is great. Because Empire can do it. Absolutely, it's super easy, right? Their team is really good at it too. You get the Ogre Magi, give Bloodlust to the Ursa, right? 30 additional attack speed makes a huge difference. Ursa starts building up the damage. You got Centaur, you can tank. You got the Winter Wyvern who can heal up. If you're feeling extra funny, you can even throw the Acid Spray on top of that, reduces armor. It is a super easy level 1 Roshan, and Na'Vi should check. And it is beautiful to see that they did that. Yes, of course, nothing came from it because Empire isn't doing it, but they don't know that and they don't have any way to know. They need to check. If they don't check, that's a huge misplay, even if nothing comes from it. FN is going to retreat. He needs to give up on this bounty rune. He's not going to get it. General picks it up. So, let's talk about Na'Vi's players really quick. We got the General on the Darkseer. We got Rim. I really like to believe that's how you actually pronounce that name. Rum. It's like a car revving up. Rum, rum, rum. Gonna be going into the top lane. Actually, they're creep skipping. General is just straight up creep skipping. Already running out of mana and health, though. This is actually not looking too great for Na'Vi. Yeah, I'm not sure if this worked out for them at all. This seems unnecessarily aggressive. I gotta be honest with you, right? I mean, they have a perfectly fine offlane here. They don't even need rum there. They can just lane it regularly and I don't see an issue. So, it's a bit odd, right? It's a bit odd to see Navi actually go this aggressive. And it didn't work at all. Mid lane, we have Denny on the Ember Spirit. Gonna be laning against Alchemist. This matchup I find very, very interesting. Also very back and forth and incredibly difficult to determine who actually, is winning. It's really not a very obvious situation. At the bottom, you've got Pycat on the Lifestealer and the Beaver on the Coddle of the Light. I think it's Beaver. That's probably how you say it. Pycat dealing a lot of damage to Ghost Stick right there. He doesn't want to tower dive, of course, because there is actually a chance he might just get stomped and die. Like, that's real. Dendy going in on Chappie here, dealing a bit of damage, right? This is always the back and forth. You've got the Ember Spirit, who deals a lot of magic damage, but has no way of dealing with Acid Spray, and you have the Alchemist, who deals a lot of physical damage, but has no way to deal with the Flame Guard. So they both just kind of hurt each other, but, it comes down to really who's more aggressive. I think that's how you win this lane. You just gotta go in, and especially as Ember Spirit, you have these timings that you need to play, right? Where there are a few seconds of downtime on the Acid Spray that you really have to use. King Owl running into the Slaughter there. Just kind of taking a little bit of damage, nothing too serious though. And Slaughter's just gonna slither away. Seems like Navi has now settled on just a regular offlane, which very happy to see, right? Like, I don't think there was any need for that hyper aggression in the early game. And now, honestly, I don't even think they can do it anymore. Ursa just fights so incredibly well. There's a good chance he might be able to turn it around. That's always scary, man. That's like one of the big problems with Ursa, right? Even if he just has one Fury Swipe stack on you, you already feel like there's no possible way you can win an engagement. Because he just builds up damage so incredibly quickly. Yeah, I would also like to see him go for some early boots, just fight. Just be ready to fight. Meantime, we've got Chappie fighting it out with Dendy. They got a slow on the Ember Spirit. That won't be enough to burn through the Flame Guard. It just runs out, but, they still can't really deal with that. And, yeah, Dendy will end up being fine. He's just sending his bottle back. Gonna heal up really quick. Currently, this seems to be going in favor of the Ember Spirit quite a bit, which is, again, not surprising. Like, in this lane, I'm not surprised if either player wins. Like, both heroes can definitely do it. If I had to give an edge to somebody, it would be the Ember Spirit, though. Like, Ember Spirit just kind of deals a little bit more damage, and he's a little bit more reliable with it, and that really makes a big difference. That does make a big difference. Meantime, we've got the Lifestealer just kind of farming at the bottom. And I mean, that's what you would expect, right? He's just kind of getting big. Not actually as big as the Ursa though, which is a bit unfortunate. I mean, you would expect Navi to just run this lane over. But they haven't been doing that so far. In the meantime, they've got TPs into the mid. Making sure Chappie isn't gonna be taken down as the first blood here. And this is actually game 3 of a best of 3. So both teams have already gotten beaten up a little bit. That's actually important information, right? Like, players play differently in a game 3. They really do. They really do. Less likely to take risks, right? Less open to that. They also usually just generally less aggressive, more willing to farm up. So, yeah. Oh, is that enough? Wow, that was close. Without that Fairy Fire, then he would actually have died. Very well placed Ice Shard. Splinter Blast. Shit. What's Ice Shard? Oh, that's Tusks. Close. Winter Blast. Very well placed Winter Blast. Splinter Blast, not Winter Blast. I haven't seen a Zero competitive in forever, man. I don't play Winter Wyvern. I haven't played Winter Wyvern like twice in my life. Alright, we got kind of taking a bit of damage here. He's slowed down though. Did he have a stun? No, don't need it. FN is just gonna throw down one last attack. Manages to secure the first blood. And that's pretty big, Ursa getting powerful is always nice to see. I wonder what he's gonna go for. Currently just rushing the face boots. Perfectly reasonable choice, of course, right? You like to see lifesteal on Ursa. That's something that's quite powerful. Although, with the Helm of the Dominator gun and the Mask of Madness silencing, personally, I'm not a big fan of the Mask of Madness on Ursa, but Don't get me wrong, it is a nice, powerful item that can do a lot of damage. I wouldn't be too surprised if we see it here. Turns out he's gonna go for the Helm of the Dominator first though, and I like that choice a lot. I think Helm of the Dominator is so good. You always want one on your team. Doesn't really matter who picks it up, you just want somebody to. And so seeing it picked up by the Ursa is a good thing. Definitely a good thing. Chappie on the Alchemist. Going for the Soul Ring. That's, by the way, something I personally don't really like. I don't think you need the full Soul Ring. I think what you should buy is you should just buy a Sage's Mask. Right? Because really what you're using with the Soul Ring is just a mana regeneration. 50% mana regen. That's how much the Sage's Mask gives. Right? You don't really need the active because you got your Chemical Rage. And especially once you're level 12, you get your level 2 ultimate. Well, then you don't need it at all. Right? Don't even need it a little bit. King R. Hiding in the trees. I like that. Being sneaky. Gonna be stunned up anyway. Ursa teleported in trying to help. They activate the Centaur ultimate. Chasing down Slaughter. That's gonna be a kill. They get that. In the meantime, Ghostic going for Dendy. He manages to burn through the Flame Guard actually. Yeah, burning through the fire. And in the end, it's gonna be fine. No, Dendy will be able to just kind of sneak out and escape. Going for early Boots of Travel, it seems. Wants to maximize his farming. Seems reasonable enough. I like seeing the Veil of Discord, of course. It's a powerful item. Oh well, keep up the light. In the meantime, I'm gonna get jumped. Just eaten up. I mean, that's free. Right? that's just straight up free. Gonna have to rush away. Actually going for a sprint over Sliverine Crush. That's a little bit unusual, isn't it? I mean, you would expect to just see the Crush maxed out. I get that sprint is nice, you know, you kind of go fast, but do you really need that badly? Nah, I don't know, I'm just saying, right? Like, it probably doesn't matter, it's only 50 damage. Tiny bit of stun duration, but I'm just surprised, that's all. FN? Yeah, he's gonna take a little bit of damage here. He's gonna have his Helm of the Dominator in a second though, and once he has that, there's nothing to worry about. Now, we've got the Alchemist farming through the jungle, and it's actually a bit of an issue for the Ursa. He doesn't have anywhere to go right now, and that's something that's always a problem. You know, the top lane is being attacked. The bottom lane kind of belongs to the Centaur. I mean, you don't want to go in there and steal all of his farm, and the jungle is being taken by Chappie. I guess you could go mid. But, I mean, there's an Ember Spirit there, that's kind of spooky. Like, you don't really want to mess with that. It feels a little bit awkward for him, but... He's just gonna TP top, it seems. Yup, they're going top. They're looking to fight. They got a stun on Rum! Return stun, no, and FN is just gonna settle for taking some crepes. Ursa not able to close that distance by any means, right? Working on a Blink Dagger now, which I'm very happy to see. Blink Dagger and Ursa, the most important item you can buy. By far, it is so valuable. Actually finds a good creep here. Gonna go for the Alpha Wolf, of course. Oh, they used the Centaur ultimate. Looking for something at the top, maybe? No. They ran in there, but this is not a good position. They got General and Biver all up at the top. I don't think Miposhka can really do a lot of fighting here. She's just gonna get beaten up. So, for now, they'll just play it safe and sit in the background. You know, not overextending on any of this. By the way, I just want to say this really quick. It's not really related to the game, but I'm going to be doing casts during the qualifiers while they are still happening. Of the qualifiers, and I'm going to try to upload them on the same day that I cast them. So, for example, this video I upload it as soon as possible, right? And the point is just that, you know, like, I don't really do live coverage, I suppose. Usually I do replays, but, you know, maybe I can do a little bit of more live stuff and do a few more casts. So yeah, just so you know, right? And just so I'm kind of forced to stick to it, but I want to do a lot of casts. So if you see a cast every day for the next few days, then I hope you don't mind. Although if you're watching this, you probably don't. But yeah, really hope I can stick to that. Yeah, it's always a matter of like what happens in life. You never know. You never know. Alchemist got himself the armlet now working on the Radiance, of course, as you would expect. Powerful item to have. There's really no reason to not buy it here. I guess you could make an argument for more of a fighting alchemist, but I don't really see it. Like, I think Armlet into Radiance is a perfectly good choice. Got a big fight in the mid. Actually, it seems there's just going to be a defensive ultimate from the Centaur, and this is the thing, you know, that ability is so powerful. Miposhka gonna be caught out. Instant TP. Very smart. Very good. And he just teleports away. Pikecat, in the meantime, pushing down the mid here. He's got himself an Armlet now, working on a Desolator, so Lifestealer is kind of ready to fight. And actually he catches the Alchemist. I don't know what Chappie was thinking. Just walking up far too deep here. The Iron Shell dealing a lot of damage. It's not gonna be quite enough, but once the freeze stops, they'll be able to just chop him up, and down goes the Alchemist. That was a huge overextension for no reason. Very odd choice. Very odd. Also, Alchemist going for 20 damage over 4 armor. I think that's definitely a mistake. Pretty significant one too. Should definitely have gone for the 4 armor. Alchemist doesn't really deal that much right-click damage anyway. You're not gonna win these fights through overwhelming the Radiant, and you have an Ursa, who, if it comes down to that kind of fight where it's essentially a DPS race, like who deals more damage, then it's going to be the Ursa that does that for you. You don't have to do that as Alchemist, right? However, armor is super important here, right? Lifestealer, pure physical damage. You got the Slaughter. You gotta deal with the amplified damage somehow. 4 armor is a lot in this game. 4 armor really matters, and I think actually going for the 20 damage is just terrible. like, I know that sounds a bit rude, but I'm not trying to be nice. It's a really, really bad decision, right? That's actually just kind of awful, but that's all right. You know what? We all make mistakes sometimes, and maybe it works out for him. But you know, especially as this kind of Alchemist, I imagine you would go for the 20 damage. You know, if you're actually trying to do right-click damage. But this kind of Alchemist is a zoning hero. That's what he does, right? He doesn't go in there and just murder people for clicking on them. What he does is he stays alive and creates a zone where it's so hard to fight it, and that the enemies either need to retreat or die because of all of your AoE, right? And because you can't kill the Alchemist sitting there with his Radiance. That's what you try to do. You don't go in there and you just like start shredding people, because in that scenario, why the hell would you get a Radiance? You want the effectiveness of a long fight. I don't know. We got a Centaur ultimate being used at the bottom. Bibber kind of caught out a little bit. Do they have a stun? Yes, they do. And down goes the Kotl. Quick pickoff. In the meantime, in the mid lane, they turn it around and get Miposhka. So it's going to be a support for support. Probably in favor of the Radiant. The Dire. Excuse me. Probably in favor of the Dire. The Ogre Magi has literally nothing, while the Kotl is actually decently farmed and working on his Aghanums. And this is, of course, the strong side of a Keeper of the Light. You can see he has 71 last hits. Does he? That can't be right. He does. Wow, that's crazy. 71 last hits on a Kotl. Wow, that's actually just insane, right? But that's exactly what I mean, right? Kotl, you just kind of get the guy farmed very easily. Danny now coming into the bottom here. He's got TP boots, haste speed too, he's coming in. Shackle him down. Oh no, they're gonna go for somebody else. We got a big fight to the left here, the Winter Wyvern already going down. Centaur Warren is standing in the middle, he's not gonna be able to survive the AoE from Denny though, and now FN caught in the middle. He's gonna get shackled, gets at least 1 kill, looking for the blink out, but against Iron Shell and the Ember Spirit AoE, that just won't happen, and so FN falls. Denny getting the triple kill there with the double death of the Ursa. That's actually pretty fucking big, man. That was a good fight for the Radiant there. They really did well. Right, and that's the haste speed from the Darkseer. It was definitely a bit of an odd start to it. Right, and we had a curious decision. But actually, Chappie gonna be caught out in the top. He puts down his acid spray now, his ultimate is still active. He's too scary to fight, you know. It's going to take a while to take him down, and by the time you're done with it, there's almost certainly going to be backup there. Or by the time you're even getting close to being done with it, there's probably going to be backup there. This guy's tanky, you know, that's what Alchemist does. He's got his Radiance now, so that's good to see. Nice multicast on Rum, and oh, good dodge too. I mean, honestly, Chappie did really well right there. Ogre Magic gonna try to TP out. Can he do it? Yes, he can. If Darkseid had 120 damage, then that wouldn't have happened. You know, I've got General pounding into him. Won't be enough though. Yeah, I just find 120 damage on Darkseid quite amusing. Probably not the only one. it's just an odd talent that the hero has, right? Like, I don't think Darkseid does any sort of right-clicking ever, but that's why he's got it, right? Like, heroes that don't right-click, they get high damage talents, so they can do it somewhat. Blink Dagger is now ready on FN. He's interrupted while farming. In the meantime, wait. Who? Mid. Wait, where did he die? Oh, up there. Oh, sorry. Biboshka taken down again. Meantime, they get a kill in the mid lane. Smoke ended up working out fine. Center with the Blink Dagger just secures a quick pick off on the Ember Spirit. And that's a pretty big kill. You know, those matter. So, taking down Denny, really important. He got his Veil of Discord now. Meaning he'll really start to hurt. Ember Spirit is very scary. With that Veil of Discord, his magic damage just goes through the roof. He's working on a Blink Dagger now. Once he has that, he's going to be fast. He's going to be high DPS. Scary hero. Absolutely terrifying. I wonder what FN is going for here. Seems to be a Basher. He has it. No, not quite. Not quite. It's close. But, interesting choice. So he just wants to be able to, you know, maybe like lock people down somehow. Understandable. I think he needs BKB this game. I don't really see a way around it, if I'm completely honest. Right? He kind of needs a BKB here. And I expect to see it after the Basher, right? It's probably going to be a Basher into BKB. That's what he should buy. It's just BKB is so valuable this game. You've got so much you need to block. Right? You need to be able to purge off the corrosive haze. You need to be able to deal with the Ember Spirit's DPS, right? BKB is huge here, and I really hope we see that from FN. Meantime, Alchemist just continues farming up. He's got some TP boots now. That's of course always the scary thing if you're the Radiant here. Alchemist is just going to continue getting bigger, and you're kind of playing on a timer because eventually he'll be so big he gives the Ursa an Aghanim and you're just screwed. FN on the run. Oh, Slaughter going to be taking quite a bit of damage here actually. Dropping very low. Lifestealer almost murdering his friend. In the meantime, Ghost Stick gonna be the sacrificial lamb for Rum. No, actually no, that's FN. Wait, who was Rum again? Oh, so the Slaughter, yeah. Rum. I don't know if anybody else finds that funny. I do! I find that funny. Rum. It's a great name. Once I'm a professional caster in the never future, which is the future that doesn't ever happen, then I'll still continue calling him Rum, because that's his name. Rum. Alright. Winter Byron kind of sneaking through the trees. Being a sneaky little dragon. Looking for something he can do. It's not much though. So, a bit awkward like that. That's always the thing about supports. You know, you're just hanging out around the carries. Hoping there's something you can do. But what is there really? Level 15 plus 6 into all stats over the 80 unstable concoction damage. Very happy about this. Undeniably the right choice. Think that's just clear here. Alright, I know I keep getting stuck up on these talents, but it does matter. It makes a difference. There's just no denying that. Meantime, Roshan gonna be attempted from Na'Vi. This is quite risky. It's gonna be scouted out. Pycat instantly killing that creep. So the Infest is on cooldown now. That's interesting. Smoke from Na'Vi. So they're looking to fight this. And Empire, they don't know this. They have no idea. They have no idea. If you look at the vision here, they think they see Na'Vi, but no, they don't. They absolutely don't. So that's a bit scary. Oh, he gonna scout them out. He's gonna scout them out. He blinks in. He gets two. Oh my god! The huge vacuum into the Ember Spirit, dealing a ton of damage. FN is on the retreat. Nice blink at the last second. He's gonna be able to get out of there. In the end, it seems like only 2 people have died so far, and this is actually looking quite alright for Empire. They trade the Slaughter, or like, well, they trade the Winter Wyvern for the Slaughter, and that's actually pretty solid. Navi now feeling confident. They're looking for more. They want to go and take down Roshan. Nah, they're not gonna get it. That's far too risky, especially without them amplified damage. I mean, you just don't have it in you. Gotta get out of there, and so they do, But yeah, a very close call on that Ursa. If the Ursa would have gotten caught right there, that fight would have been an absolute disaster, right? In terms of net worth, we've got Empire slightly ahead. This is, of course, not entirely accurate to the state of the game, because a lot of the money is on the Alchemist, the hero that uses money very inefficiently. So it's something you need to keep in mind. Oh no, he stuns himself! That's big, that's big. Chappie's just caught out. He actually gonna just be able to fight, though. They don't go for him. Chappie's still standing here. Gonna go down to Dendy, finally, and they take down the Alchemist. It's gonna be a return kill, though, seeing as the Darkseer died first. Now Centaur Warrunner trading hits with Dendy. On the retreat, Blink Dagger ready, won't be in time. In the meantime, we've got FN standing in the Roshan pit, just kind of fighting it out. Oh, I don't like that retreat at all, and down he goes. Yeah, Ursa tried to maybe sneak in that Roshan kill. A risky play, and it didn't pay off, and so Roshan is finally going to Navi. Kotl, by the way, picking up that Aghanim Scepter, so this is exactly what I meant. Like, a Keep of the Light, even as a position 4 or 5, he just gets money, right? That's just kind of what makes him good. Yeah, usually, look at this, right? You've got the Kotl, right? You compare him to the Ogre Magi. Or if you want to compare him to the position 4 on the other time, compare him to the Winter Wyvern. He literally has an Aghanim Scepter more, right? He just has an Aghanim Scepter more. And that's because of his farming ability. Because he actually gets some money. And then if you think about, well, okay, you know, Winter Wyvern is powerful and all. Does she need an Aghanim Scepter? Right, like, or would she be, or is she, like, worse because she doesn't have that much money? Yes, clearly. I mean, duh. Right? Like, it's just like, well. I mean, I get that the Winter Wyvern probably has a more powerful skill set overall. But she just doesn't have the same money. And without the money, you suck. And so Kotl is just kind of being sneaky. I also like how he teleported down here, who instantly teleports back up to the top lane. Seems like he's looking for a kill though. Right, you've got FN here, you've got the Lifestealer inside of the Slaughter. This is scary. I hate him not maxing out Corrosive Haze. I just noticed this. This is terrible. Please don't ever do this. I don't know why. This must be a misclick. There's no good reason to do this, and this is just terrible. Right? So yeah. They also are going to teleport him back into the bottom lane. I really hope he gets the second level into this once he's level 13, right? This has to be a misclick. I don't see any other reason for it. They smoke up and General just instantly gets out. There's of course the upside of the Kotl again, right? You have that mobility around the map. You just keep spamming the recall. Essentially everybody has TP boots. Oh no, they catch Chappie! He's gonna be healing up though. We've got the Winter Wyvern ultimate cast on top of that too. His ultimate is active already. Alchemist on the retreat out. He's gonna die. He's gonna die. Then he gets a kill. Ghost Stick here to fight, but he's just gonna be forced to blink out. In the meantime, the Winter Wyvern has his mana leaked and gonna be shackled into the ground, melted by the Ember Spirit, who would also like to have a little sliced ogre. A delicious, delicious delicacy that is only reserved for the bestest of the Navi, Dendi, and the Ember Spirits, or some shit like that. I don't know where I'm going with this, but Ogre Magi dies, and Ember Spirit gets that kill. That is really big for Navi. That is a very, very big encounter. They just quickly chop up the Alchemist. That loses a lot of farming time. And by the way, going for Aghanims now. So this is something I kind of touched on briefly earlier. Alchemist is gonna be scary in the late game here, because actually everybody, every single hero on the Dire has a worthwhile Aghanims. I mean, the worst Aghanims here is probably the Winter Wyvern one, which is amazing. Right? Like, the Winter Wyvern Aghanim's is very good. It's probably the worst one in this particular team. And that is a problem, right? So Alchemist is going to be scary in the super late game. In the meantime, Ghost Stick dies. Come on, man. You can't do that. Yeah. Slaughter now picking up the second level into Corrosive Haze. Thank God. General, almost level 15. 120 damage 4 days. Come on, do it. Do it! I mean, you got the amplified damage, right? Like, get the 120 damage, just beat people up with that. Keeping it real with that carry dogs here. Why not? Why not? I wonder actually if carry dogs here works. And by works, I mean, you know, isn't super awful terrible in a stupid game that I like to play. Because at honestly, the hero has 120 damage and good farming abilities. Like, he might be able to do it. Like, just get him farmed up and have him click on people. Why not? 120 damage is quite a bit. Alright, Cottle Blast coming in. Picard gonna go ahead and start working on his tower. Gets his lifesteal on the Alchemist, but nothing really gonna come from it. That's too risky of a fight. Definitely too risky of a fight. FN in the meantime sneaking in some Ancients. Gonna be denied those by Biva, who also is carrying a gem now, as you would expect. You know, it's just Cottle. That's what he does, right? Level 15, almost level 16. 25 seconds respawn time. I like seeing that. It's very good. Yeah, it's just a powerful little talent to have. Respawn time talents in general are so good. So incredibly good. I like talking about these talents. I find them interesting. Slaughter skipping his up to this point. Level 10 he can have. 6 health regen, which is actually kind of alright. I don't know, that's kind of shit actually. I honestly, that's actually not even that good. Picking up a Hand of Midas after his Blink Dagger. So, wants to have a BKB eventually. Right, and that's what the Hand of Midas is going to guarantee. Ember Spirit now going for Maelstrom into... Is that just gonna be an Octarine Core? Okay, he wants the additional survivability. I can somewhat dig that. Although, he's gonna be falling off in terms of damage. Doesn't matter. Centaur goes down at the bottom anyway. They just catch him. I mean, this is exactly what I meant at the beginning of the game, right? The Slaughter Lifestealer combo is just so scary. It's just so scary. They catch you, you die. Catch you, you die. There's almost nothing you can do. Alchemist actually gonna work on an Octarine Core as opposed to the... what's it called? Aghanims. I don't like either. I think he needs a Shiva. Or maybe not a Shiva, maybe not Soul Kuras. Right, but one of those two. He needs armor. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. Having the Octarine Core is nice. It's a powerful item. This game, you will still die with it. It won't make any difference at all. You won't get any value out of it. It's not the right choice. I don't think so. Honestly, I'm fairly unhappy with how Chappie is playing this Alchemist. I know he hasn't really made any glaring mistakes, but those tiny missteps, they really matter. And there we go. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. He's going for the plate mail. That is the right choice. Even if he doesn't upgrade it, I'm already happy. Right? That's all he needs to do. Just pick up the plate mail. Plate mail. Have some armor. You need it. You absolutely need it. So yeah. It's gonna be ganked in the mid lane though. Oh god. They jump in. They get... well, they get the stun, but Picard wasn't ready, and so the Alchemist will be able to escape out. Lifestealer working on Desolate, well, not Desolate. Sorcerer has his Skull Basher finished, so going for that one-on-one fighting potential of the Basher. Ursa, by the way, BKB ready. Basher, of course, as well. Now we're gonna pick up Diffusal Blade. Doesn't want people running away anymore. Seems reasonable enough. Like seeing the BKB, as I've already mentioned. I think it's very, very important here. I don't think he has much of a way around it, sadly enough. I know that always sucks to hear, but you gotta have a BKB in this game, right? Alchemist just sending his illusion into the mid here. Yeah, it's one of the big things the hero brings to the table, right? And Kotl, by the way, is sitting on 155 last hits. Has big farm, man. This guy's got money, right? The smoke attempt, actually, from Empire. This is looking quite alright. Oh, Pikeout. Can they get him? Do they have vision? Oh, they might have gotten him from... No. No. Oh. That would have been funny. During daytime, they would have seen him, I think. Oh, they find Bibba. Oh, that's gonna be a dead Bibba. Sorry, Bibba. I like your name. It's kind of funny, but you're gonna die there. There's just nothing you can do. Rest in pieces, Bibba. Ghost Stick picking up the Gem of True side. Honestly, the Centaur isn't tanky. I know, it sounds a bit silly to say that. A Centaur and not tanky? Come on, Baumi. No, Ghost Stick is not tanky. He's not. He just dies super quick. Right? Like if the... Maybe the Ember Spirit can't really hurt him. Okay, you know what? I can support that. Slaughter jumps him, he's dead instantly. It's gonna take 2 seconds and he dies. And that's kind of a problem, you know. And he won't even be able to get off his ultimate in a lot of scenarios. Getting 10% evasion at level 15. Interesting choice. Probably the right one, honestly. Kind of like it. Courier. Oh, then he almost gets it. He had the attack, I think, but he cancelled it. And we got Rum looking for an opportunity. He gets one. He's gonna just destroy the Winter Wyvern. They get the root on Ursa. Doesn't want to use his ultimate yet, or his BKB. Activates the BKB defensively and is forced to retreat. So BKB is on cooldown. That's bad. That's really bad for Empire here. Yeah. Roshan? Yeah. Seems like a good target to go for. I mean, it's gonna take them seconds, and... why not? Right, so Roshan dies. Rest in pieces. Chase goes to Dendy. We've got the Aegis on the Life Stealer. Who, by the way, is back inside of Room. Looking for another opportunity. But yeah, forcing out BKB like this, it's still on cooldown. I mean, honestly, they should probably force a fight right now. They're playing it safe instead, which is reasonable too. But the 10-second charge is gone, and you're not gonna get that back. Right, not gonna get that back. And the thing is, that last fight that looked really bad for the Dire. Right, that wasn't even a great initiation from Na'Vi. That was actually a pretty bad one. They jumped the Winter Wyvern. Right, and then you had 2 carries out of position. That's just not great. Empire still couldn't fight it. They just couldn't. And of course, their position wasn't fantastic either. There was a risky situation all around. But it still is a little worrying. If you cannot take a fight like that, I mean, what fights are you going to be able to take? Yeah. Aghanims on Ursa. Very happy to see that. So Alchemist did go for that Aghanims after all. And FN actually looking significantly more powerful now. That actually makes a big difference. I love Aghanims on Ursa. It is so good. It is so good. Okay, they're looking for a smoke. Sadly, FN is not smoked. But they find Dendy, who is gonna be fine. Eats up the cheese. Gonna be alright. Winter Wyvern casts an ultimate. Pikeout. Taking a little bit of damage, but really not that much. Dendy doesn't hit that hard. In the meantime, the double root. One on Miboshka. One gonna be on Chappie. Dendy coming back in. He takes down the Ogre Magi. Chappie now on the run. Pikeout keeps working on him, and finally, he ends up getting the kill. It's gonna be a return kill as well. And Pikeout resurrects. He gets the double stun, but yeah, never mind. Lifestealer's plenty fine there. Gonna be a little difficult to kill him with a level 2 stun. You know, I'm just saying, that's really not that much. And in the end, yeah, I guess Empire did actually get Navi to use cheese and Aegis, which is actually kind of alright. But Alchemist is dead without buyback, right? The question that Empire is now facing is, do we give them the barracks? Alright, do we actually just give them the barracks? Oh, Denny, you could have gotten the shackles right there. Absolutely. There we go. He gets one on Miboshka. And seems like they're not going to be given a choice. The triple stun! The Ember Spirit coming in. He gets a double root. Huge burst damage from Denny. FN now on the retreat. He activates his ultimate. Centaur War Runner gonna be stunned. Gonna be caught out. The root. King R freezes himself into the field. Centaur goes down to Denny. That's a beyond godlike triple kill on the Ember Spirit. Vincere is still standing and fighting. FN, the only one to be alive. Waiting for the Alchemist. He wants to make it a 2-1-5. I mean, the Ember Spirit is slow. He's gonna be jumped right here. It's not too big of a deal, though. Yeah, he's gonna make it a 2-1-5. He goes in. He wants room, but he's gonna be force-staffed out. The BKB is active. One more hit is gonna do it. Can he get it? He gets it. Pycat now trying to turn it around. He is actually able to get a decent amount of damage in on the Ursa, but the Ursa rooted into place. Gonna be taken down by the Ember Spirit. Finally, Chappie. He is now the last one to be alive. Ember Spirit on the retreat. Ursa buying back. Then he tries to dodge it. Doesn't quite get it. TP in from the Ogre Magi. And it seems like Empire is able to defend at least the mid-ranged barracks. But they still lose basically 2 lanes. That is bad. That was not good, man. That was really not good. And the power of the Roshan, man. The power of the Roshan. And it's funny. Like, this all goes back to actually them. And by them, I mean Na'Vi, right? But to Na'Vi, getting the 1 pick-off on the Vincere. The Vincere died. They take Roshan. They win this huge fight because of Roshan. Yeah. Makes a difference. And you can see things have escalated quite significantly. That's scary. That's definitely scary. Alchemist is just going to continue farming up. He's got a Shiva's Guard, which is good to see. Working on the BKB. Also good to see. I like that. I think the BKB is a good choice here. Right? It's gonna make him weaker throughout the rest of the game. Level 25, of course, he's got 30% lifesteal or the -5 acid spray armor. Personally, I like the acid spray talent. I find that one good. But 30% lifesteal is probably what we're going to see. Alright, another big fight. General actually going to be picked off by Ursa right away. Pycat now starts working on Chappie. In the meantime, we've got Rum in the background going for King R. Nice! Denny just burns the supports into the ground. Chappie is still fighting. They're gonna go for the lifesteal. And FN actually dealing a ton of damage to him. He gets the kill. That's 1 down. The double root on both the carries though. Denny is now on the retreat. He gets another root on FN. But Chappie, he is hunting him down. He's gonna have the Shiva's Guard ready in a second. The slow doesn't quite manage to connect. And so Denny is still on the retreat out. He gets the shackles on the Centaur War Runner. Dodges it. Actually, no, he doesn't dodge the stun from Chappie. And now FN is here. He connects with the slow. The Ember Spirit is still fighting, but it won't be for much longer, and finally he goes down. At the very least, he bought a lot of time for his team. But that was a big fight for Empire. They managed to just brawl it out with the lifesteal, and then in the end, the Ember Spirit also ends up dying. So, definitely a good encounter. That's what they needed here, right? Like, if they want to make this comeback happen, that is the start to it. And this is actually going to be interesting. After that fight, I wonder if Chappie's actually going to go for the BKB, right? He can always just use the Ogre Club and get another Aghanim's. And then go for Dr. Rinko. That was his original plan, you know? Fuck it. Let's not actually get BKB. Let's just go with what we wanted originally. Because the original plan was based on we're doing well, right? But I think it's still gonna be the BKB here, and yeah, we got it incoming. That makes perfect sense too, right? Just saying, okay, let's not get too greedy. We got a good fight, but the game is nowhere yet. They still had an advantage. But that was a big fight. You see that? It makes a big dip. Yeah. How many people are watching this right now? 47,000. Wow. I mean, strictly speaking, I'm just another one that's watching it. This is a good game, man. This is a very, very good game. Alright, they also only got half an hour left, so these guys better hurry up. And that would actually suck if the game lasts another half hour. I just kind of have to go. Ooh, alright. Centaur actually given an Aghanim's already. I didn't even see that, but yeah, no. The Alchemist really starting to share these around. And, Skadi? Okay. You know what? I actually kind of like that. I like that. It's very good against Lifestealer. Very good against that hero. He doesn't like it at all. And here we go. Level 25, -5 acid spray armor. I can't agree with that. Okay, so I know. I was talking shit about Chappie earlier. But, and this may seem crazy, right? Like, of course 30% lifesteal is insane. But think about how much damage does Chappie deal for right-clicking. It's really not that much. That's not where his main use comes in. How often does he even get to click on people? It doesn't fucking matter. Oh, by the way, we got a jump. Pycat actually taking down the Centaur right away. Oh, the freeze, but it's on the wrong hero. Lifestealer doesn't really like take that much damage, and he doesn't get attacked by anybody. That's scary. Boschka in the middle of this. FN doesn't get to attack anybody right now. Trying to chase down General. He gets the Abyssal Blade. One more hit. And down he goes, rooted into place though. We got Rim and Dendy sitting right on top of the Ursa, wanting that kill. The Cordal Blast, one more hit, and finally he goes down to the Shackles. Now, Dendy on the retreat out. He gets the big Slide of Fist. There also Shackles connecting with the Alchemist. Now on the retreat out. Can he do it? Oh, they all managed to dodge that. Pycat back in the fight. The Lycian's looking for a little bit more. King R hoping to escape, but good sir. Not today. Not today. Lifestealer just slowly eating him up, taking his time. He's enjoying this one. It's a nice, delicious little meal. Now the Saint of Warren are gonna be caught out as well. Ember Spirit can easily secure that kill with a few more shackles, and finally he falls. Level 25 now available on Dandy, and that is huge. Absolutely enormous. You usually go for the 2-second Searing Chain. That's what I expect to see here too. He's actually kind of out of mana. Got stunned up too. Chappie? If Chappie dies here, that's game. Okay, never mind. He's got buyback. Alright. Buyback is used. Alchemist, I am very doubtful if he can hold this on his own. I mean... Oh, this actually sucks. He's gonna stun himself. Oh, that's a little bit spooky. Alright, then he needs to go back. He's out of mana. Yeah, he gets the 2-second Searing Chain. Puts this at 5 seconds duration, which is just... What? Right? 5 seconds on the Searing Chains. It's insane. It's absolutely bonkers. They get the slow on Alchemist, so he'll be fine for the time being. I don't like how King R is using his ultimates. He's just essentially using them as a big stun. And don't get me wrong, I mean, yes... That's kind of what it is, right? Oh god, nah, that's over. That's over. Empire, they lose. Everybody except for Chappie at this point. But Alchemist is really only alive for as long as it takes Danny to have another Shackles ready. He connects with them. Alchemist locked in place. At this stage, though, Perma Shackles are online. Essentially, Perma Shackles. And so, Chappie dies, and that's game. I mean, Ursa's coming back in, but he's gonna face the exact same fate of getting Perma Shackled. GG is called, and so Na'Vi takes the best of 3 against Team Empire. Very, very well done. That was a cool game. But anyway, as I was saying, what was I saying anyway? Oh yeah, the Searing Chains, whatever. Doesn't really matter at this stage. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a rating on the video. We'll definitely appreciate that. As always, leave feedback, and yeah. I mean, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.